Welcome to today's lesson. It's a continuation of rounding off whole numbers. Recall in the last video, we learned how to round off numbers to the nearest tens and to the nearest hundred. Today, we're going to continue from rounding off whole numbers to the nearest thousand. Now, let's see if the question says round off the following numbers to the nearest thousand. How would you solve this? Now let's start with number one. Let's assume I have 24,804. Now remember the principle guiding writing of numbers. Give the numbers its place value. Remember, this is your units or your ones. This is tens, this is hundred, and this is thousand. So I'm going to stop here because I'm rounding to the nearest thousand. So at this point, my focus will be on the digit under your thousand and the digit under your hundred. Those are the closest digits in the number. So check out the number or the digit under the hundred. Is it greater than 4? By this I mean, is it 5? Is it 6? Is it 7? Is it 8 or 9? If it is, then it tells you you're going to round up. Remember how to round up? You add 1 to the thousand. So 4 plus 1, that becomes 25. And then you convert every other digit at the front to 0, 0, 0. That's your answer. And let's look at number 2. Number 2, I have this number, 789,145. Again, I'm rounding to the nearest thousand. First thing, ones or your units, your tenths, your hundred, your thousand. We'll stop. So our focus is on these two digits, the thousand and the hundred. Now we'll check the digit under the hundred. Is it greater than 4? Is it up to 5, 6, 7, 8, 9? Any of those number? No. It's 1, so which means I'm going to round down. So which means I'll retain the number. I will add 1 to the thousand. It will be 789 and convert the digits at the front to 0, 0, 0. So this is 789,000. Let's try at number 3. I have 649,938. Again, I'm rounding this number to the nearest thousand. This is your ones or your units, your tenths, your hundred, and then this is your thousand. So I'm stopping there. So my focus is on these two digits. The digits under the thousand and the digit under the hundred. Now, the digit under the hundred is 9, so which means I'm going to round up. Now, how do I round up? By adding 1 to the thousand. And if you add 1, this time around you have to be careful. This is 9 plus 1, 10. You write down 0 and rename and take the 1 to 4. So 4 plus 1 is 5, 6. Then you convert these 3 digits at the front to 0, 0, 0. So your answer becomes 650,000. And let's move to number 4. Number 4 question, I have 1,060,899. This will be, this is your ones or your unit, your tenths, this is your hundred, your thousand. That's the focus. the digit under your thousand and your hundred. Since the digit under your hundred is 8, it means I'm going to round up, add 1 to the thousand. So it becomes 1061. Convert every other thing to 000. And let's look at number 5 example, and to be the last for rounding off numbers to the nearest thousand. This is 54,716. This is your units or your ones, your hundred. Oh, sorry, this is your tenths. You have your units, your tenths, and this is your hundred, and then your thousand. So our focus will be on the digits under your hundred and the digits under your thousand. Since the digit under your hundred is 7, it means I'm rounding up. Add 1 to the thousand. So it becomes 55. Then convert every other digit at the front to 000. I guess these few examples can guide us in rounding up numbers to the nearest thousand. The same principle applies if you're rounding to the nearest tens, hundred, and thousand. I don't think this is going to be a problem. Another aspect of rounding off numbers we're going to look at is what we call significant figure. Significant figures. Now, when we say significant figures, what do we mean? The counting numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. They are significant numbers. Let's take, for example, if I have 24,804, and the question is asking me, how many significant figures do I have here? I have 5 significant figures. Now, I'm going to use SF for short. S for significant and F for figures. Now, if you count the digits 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that's 5 significant figures. If I have 789,145, how many significant figures do I have here? You count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I have 6 significant figures. What about if I have 1,060,899? How many significant figures do I have here? I count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 significant figure. But let's pause for a moment. Did you notice that when I was counting the significant figures, I counted 0 as significant figure? Yes, it is significant. Why? Because the 0 is between 2 significant figure. So when you have 0 between 2 significant figure, the 0 becomes significant. I hope that makes sense. Now let's try another example. Let's assume I have 25,000. Now, how many significant figures are here? It is just 2. The 5 and the 2. That's 25. They are the significant figures. Why? Because the others are zeros. And you don't count these zeros as significant. Unlike the previous example, we counted the 0 as significant because the 0 is in between 2 significant figures. But when the 0 is not between any significant figures, then the 0 becomes insignificant. That means it is not recognized. Let's look at another example. I have 789,000. How many significant figures are here? Did you say 3? If you say 3, you are correct. Again, 789 are the significant figures. The other zeros are insignificant. They are not considered significant figures. Now let's check out another example, the 1,061,000. How many significant figures are here? In the case of this, we'll have 4 significant figures. Now, I did not count these three zeros. They are insignificant. They are not significant. But now I started counting from here. 1, 2, 3, 4. This zero is significant. Why? Because the zero is in between two significant figures. So when the zero is in between two significant figures, the zero becomes significant. Let's look at another example. If I have 2005, how many significant figures are here? Did you say 2? No, that's incorrect. If you say 4, you are correct. Now the significant figures are 1, 2, 3, 4. These two zeros are significant. Why? Because they are in between two significant figures. I want to believe the idea of significant figures makes sense. You should be able to count it. Very good if you can. But now another aspect we're going to look at is, what if you are asked to round off whole numbers to significant figures? What do you do? Now, let's look at some examples. That will help us. Now, in this case, I'm going to put my whole numbers here. Let these be my whole numbers. Whole numbers. Let this be to two significant figures. Let this be to three significant figures. And we can also have four significant figures. So these are the aspects of significant figures we're going to be looking at. So number one, if I have 5,050, under the American system is 5,050. Now, to two significant figures, what will be my answer? The first thing you do is to identify how many significant figures are here. 1, 2, 3. So, since there are three significant figures, and the question says write to two significant figures, my answer will be these first two are the significant figures here. That's what I'm going to consider and convert every other digit to 0. But before I convert every other digit to 0, I will check the digit immediately after the second significant figure. Is that digit up to 5? It is still the same principle governing rounding of numbers to the nearest tens, 100, and 1,000. If it is greater than 4, which means it is from 5 to 9, then you round up by adding 1 to the next previous digit, and that becomes 5100. So this is to two significant figures. What about to three significant figures? Well, this is 5,050. Nothing will change because the original number itself is written to three significant figures. What about to four significant figures? Well, we cannot write it to four significant figures. So we'll stop here. Let's move to number 2. I have 9,395. Now, to two significant figure. How many significant figures do I have here? There are 4. To two significant figure means I'm going to consider the first two, which is 93, and convert every other digit to 0. But before I do that, I will check the digit immediately after the second significant figure. Is it greater than 4? Yes, it is 9. So I ran up by adding 1 to 3. So it becomes 9,000 or 94. And then convert the 9 and 5 to 00. So 9,400. What about the three significant figure? The three significant figures here are 939. I'm going to convert 5 to 0. But just before I do that, I had to check the digit immediately after the third significant figure. Is it greater than 4? Yes, it is 5, which means I'm going to round up by adding 1 to 9. And if you add 1 to 9, it becomes 10. Remember, you don't write 10, you write 0 and rename. Take 1 to 3. And 3 plus 1, that becomes 4. So my answer will be 940. And then convert the last digit to 0. So this is to 3 significant figures. So sometimes your value may also be the same as when you express it to two significant figures. So you can see that the value for two significant figure is the same as the value for three significant figures. And then we move to four significant figures. Since it is four significant figures already, that will still be your answer. 9,395. So nothing will change. Now let's go to number 3. Number 3, I have 19,340. Now, how many significant figures do I have here? 1, 2, 3, 4. So to two significant figure, 19 are the two significant figures. Now, before I write this, I had to check the digit after the second significant figure. It's not up to 5, so I'm going to round down. It becomes 19, convert the 3 remaining digits to 0, 0, 0. Now, the three significant figures, 193 are the three significant figures here. But before I will write 193, I had to check the digit after the third significant figure. It's not greater than 4. So which means I'm rounding down. So it's going to be 193 and then convert the 4 and the 0 to 0, 0. So which is 19,300. So four significant figure is going to be 19340. So that's it. Now let's go to number 4. And number 4, I'm going to use 24,804. Now remember, how many significant figures do we have here? They are 5. So to two significant figure, 2 and 4. But the digit after the 4 is 8. So I'm rounding up. So 25, by adding 1 to 4, it becomes 25, 0, 0, 0. To three significant figures, the first three digits, 2, 4, 8. But I had to check the digit after the third significant figure to see if it is greater than 4. It is not, so I'm rounding down. So my answer is 248. Convert the other digit to 0, 0. What about the four significant figures? It is 2480 are the significant figures. But before I will write it, I had to check the digit after the fourth significant figure. Is it greater than 4? No. So I'm rounding down. So my answer will be 2480, then convert the 4 to 0. Now let's go to number 5. I have 789,145. Now I'm writing these to two significant figure, which is 78 are the two significant figures. Now I have to check the digits after the second significant figure. Yeah, that's nice. So I'm rounding up by adding 1 to 8. And when you do that, it becomes 7, 9, then convert every other digit to 0, 0, 0. What about the three significant figure? These are the three significant figures, 7, 8, 9. But before I write it, I had to check the digits after the third significant figure. Oh, I am going to round down because it's not greater than 4. So it becomes 7, 8, 9. Convert every other digit to 0. What about the four significant figure? The four significant figures are 7, 8, 9, and 1. But before I write it, I'll check the digit after the fourth significant figure. It's 4, so I'm going to round down. So it becomes 7, 8, 9, 1, then convert 4 and 5 to 0, 0. Let's try out number 6. I have 649,938. Now to two second figures, again, 6 and 4 are the two second figures. The, before you write it, you check the digit after the second second figure. It's 9, so you're going to round up, add 1 to 4, and it becomes 65. Then convert every other digit to 0, 0, 0. The three second figure is 6, 4, and 9. Just before I write it, I'll check the digits after the third second figure. It is 9. It means I'm rounding up. By adding 1 to 9 becomes 10. Rename. Take 1 to 4. 4 plus 1 is 5. So I'm having 6, 5, 0. These are the three second figures. Then convert every other digit to 0, 0, 0. What about the four second figure? 6, 4, 9, 9 are the four second figures. Before I will write it, I will check the digit after the fourth significant figure. It is 3. So I'm going to round down. So I'm going to have 6, 4, 9, then 9, and 0, 0. And let's go to number 7. This is 1,060,899. Now here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 significant figures. I just want to write it to two significant figures. So the two significant figures are 1 and 0. Then now you check the digits after the second significant figure. It is 6. It means I'm rounding up. Add 1 to the 0, it becomes 11, 1, 1. And then convert every other digit to 0, 0. That's your answer. Then to three significant figures, 1, 0, 6 are the three significant figures. Now you check the digits after the third significant figure. It is 0. I'm rounding down. So I'll write 1, 0, 6. Then convert every other digit to 0, 0, 0. To four significant figures, 1, 0, 6, 0 are the four significant figures. But before I will write it, I'll check the digits after the fourth significant figure, and that is 8. So I can round up by adding 1 to the 0. So I have 1, 0, 6, 1. Then you convert every other digit to 0, 0, 0. Number 8. I have 54,716. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 significant figures. To two significant figure, 5 and 4 are the two significant figures. Before I write 5 and 4, check the digit after 4, which is the second significant figure. It is 7. It means I'm rounding up. Add 1 to 4 and becomes 5, 5. Convert every other digit to 0, 0, 0. Now to three significant figures, 5, 4, 7 are the three significant figures. But before I write the 5, 4, 7, I'll check the digit after the third significant figure, which is 1. So I'm rounding down. So write your 5, 4, 7, and then convert the others to 0, 0. Four significant figure, 5, 4, 7, 1 are the four significant figure. But before I would write it down, I'll check the digits after the fourth significant figure, and that's 6. It means you are rounding up. So it becomes 5, 4, 7, 2. And then convert it 6 to 0. Now, these are some examples that can help us understand the concept of rounding off numbers. And I'm very certain that this will not be a problem for you. Okay, now test my IQ. Do the following questions. Let's see what your score will be. Put your answers in the comment section. Please remember to like the video, share, and subscribe. See you in the next video.